have lots more games to talk about today. And then after the PlayStation press conference, we have something like 10 or 12 developers stopping by tonight. So we're going to give you everything you need to know about E3 right here on YouTube. But right now we're going to talk about Southpark, The Fractured Butthole. Game director Jason Schroeder is here. Jason, we got to see a sneak peek of two Southpark things in the press conference. Are you involved in both or just Fractured Butthole?
I'm involved in The Fractured Butthole.
Okay, well, let's talk about Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
This is a game that I think after Stick of Truth, everyone loved how much Matt and Trey put into that game.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys are now developing this out in San Francisco in collaboration with them. Everyone's very excited. We've been waiting a little while on it, but I know those guys have a very key eye for quality like you, and it's never quite good enough. There's always another joke to write.
Yes. I mean, we wanted to make sure that we got as much of an authentic South Park experience as we could, and so that meant from the ground up we were building tech to try to just take show content and get it into the game as seamlessly as we could. We just wanted to make sure it was exactly the product and the story they wanted to tell.
So tell us about what the story is this time around. Matt and Trey heavily involved in, writing and voicing, obviously, the game. What's New Kid going to do? Where are we going this year?
So you're playing superheroes. Hopefully it's obvious by the amazing costumes.
Yes.
But this is the first night. Here at E3, we're showing the first night that you're a superhero. You're a sidekick to Scott Malkinson, who's Captain Diabetes.
Yes.
His only real claim to fame is that he has diabetes, and sugar makes him rage out and gives him Hulk-like strength. So you're on the trail of someone who has information about a missing cat. And so it's all a really nice, innocent story. The kids just want to find a missing cat. They want to get a $100 reward, and that's going to be enough to get their franchise off the ground. But obviously it's South Park, so everything goes topsy-turvy as you break into a strip club.
Now, tell me about the collaborative process with Matt and Trey on this, because they are, busy guys working on lots of stuff.
Yes.
How does that work? Do they sort of, you and the game team, do you sort of sit down, they give you broad strokes of ideas, and you come back with gameplay, and then they kind of write over it, or I'm sure it's very iterative.
Yeah.
Tell me about what a typical kind of how does a sequence come to life in this game?
So they voice everything, so that in a lot of ways they write everything. Like there's so much dense content you have to do for a game just for all of the combat stuff and everything. And sometimes they're just editing, but every piece of the story they're writing, their whole South Park Studios is actually doing all the cutscenes. They do the characters. Like when it comes to major things like boss fights and stuff like that, like we have a sit down, we all get on a whiteboard, so they're involved every step of the way as directors off-site.
Wow, that's cool. And the great thing about this game, like Stick of Truth, is it looks so much like the show, and he's in South Park Studios.
Absolutely.
Frank and those guys working with you to bring this to life. In terms of the scale and scope of this game compared to Stick of Truth, I think everyone when they played it were amazed that there was a lot of content there.
Yeah.
For this game, in terms of variety and where we're going, how does it compare to Stick of Truth in scale?
It's definitely a longer story.
Really?
I think it's the biggest story that they've ever tried to tell, and it's definitely the most content the studio's ever tried to put out for a single product. So it's like a couple of seasons sort of smashed into it, and we keep wanting to just keep everybody, don't spoil the jokes at the end of the game, and like I say, it's just trying to get into the first night.
Yes, well, getting into the first night, as you said, I'm sure they want to keep things tight because they don't want to give away too much.
Sorry.
But it's all right. It's understandable. They want to keep things quiet. But also, Stick of Truth, going to Canada, other kind of fun things in this game. Are there other types of gameplay that we will see? You can't spoil the narrative around it.
Yeah, this year you have to try to get information out of a guy. So that starts easy enough that you're going to do like a little lap dance, but because you're the new kid and your farts make you special, you're sort of farting and dancing on the guy, and that loosens him up a little bit and gets him to talk. Yeah. So just trying to surprise people and get those little extra ways of controls and mini games in. Definitely still part of the game.
Awesome. All right. Well, we can't wait to see more of it. And you guys have put a stake in the stand coming out this fall, right?
Yep, October 17th.
We really going to make it this year?
Absolutely.
With confidence. All right. South Park, The Fractured Butthole. You get it? Thanks for
what? Oh, I get it.
All working out. All right. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that. And now we're going to head over to the demo area to talk about another